Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to this sharing on how to conduct CCA online. I put this as the first page, right? So that if you want to find a way to contact me, you can always scroll back to the first few seconds to see how you can reach out to me. Okay, and the first 15 minutes of my sharing will just be on something that I'm passionate about, which is how to do more for CCAs rather than just the technical aspects of things. Okay, and then after the 15 minutes, I'll go straight into the program sharing proper. Now I run this a few times already, and I got quite a bit of feedback that this 1.5 hours is quite packed with content. So it seems like if you really want to get the most out of it, you might want to find somewhere quiet and be able to maybe take notes. Yeah, but I'm sure if you're on the move, you pick up things as well. Okay, so the first part is about how we can do more for CCAs. And let me first share about why we should do this, and after that, how we can do it. So what we can do more, I was talking about character development and life skills, teaching them life skills. And why I think we should do this, right, is because now when I was younger and I played competitively, we are national top 4 that time at JC level. So I look back at my circle of friends, right, I think less than 10% of them still play regularly. Less than 10% actually utilize this skill that they have. And I think I'm the only one who is doing this as a career, right? So then I think, then the 90% play all this for what? What do they learn? Why must learn all this when they're not even utilizing it when they grow older? And this is why I truly believe that for the majority of people, I think character development in CCA and teaching them life skills is a lot more valuable, a lot more impactful, and the impact is also a lot more long-lasting. Okay, and I'm going to share 2 examples of how we can do it. Now, I'm super proud of this first example, okay, which is for giving back to Chongpang. And I did this about 2 years ago. PA, People's Association, was giving out a funding, and it was about, I think, $2,000, right? So I ran this program with my school. I took $2,000 and I created 10 extra lessons. And in these lessons, right, instead of teaching my students badminton, I took 20 of my better playing students, right, and I taught them how to be coaches. There are different distinctions between being a coach and being a player. Being a coach means you need to look out for mistakes. You need to be patient. You need to learn how to give instructions, things that you don't need to do as a player. Okay. After these 10 sessions, right, my students craft out a training program, a 2 days training program for the residents of Chongpang, and then you round off with a 1 day badminton competition. And my role, right, was pretty hands-off, meaning I try to let them do the whole project themselves. Okay, and so how I do it, right, is like that. Let me show you my post-program review. So okay, let me zoom in. This is too small, and you can just follow my mouse. Too many words already. So you see all these headers, right? These are the departments that I created. Okay, so you can see that there's project leaders, publicity, registration, and my liaison with the students is mostly with the project leaders. Okay, the other departments, right, we're going to get their direction and instructions from the project leaders. So I think the one that took away the most value from this whole project is the project leaders, because as peers, right, they cannot borrow or they cannot use authority like a coach or a teacher to tell the students to submit their work, meet the deadline, stuff like that. But I had to teach them how to influence, to make changes, to move things on the ground. And they also learn and they also adapted okay. And you see the different department handle different things. I think the most cool one, right, is the coaching program department. So I picked, I think, 2 or 3 students to do up the whole coaching program. This includes deciding what is going to be taught in the 2 days badminton clinic, service forehand how to grip the racket front back footwork, simple things like that. But it also means giving instructions on the actual day themselves. So on the actual day, a majority of the instructions are given by the students. And I could see really significant growth in these students that I picked. So much so that I gave them a reward after the whole thing. on the first few attempts when we were doing practice with our own CCA, right? Wow, the student coach, right, was like so nervous. Okay, guys, so right, forehand grip is, wow, she keep fumbling and all that. Then I had to step in and say, hey, look, I think it's very difficult, right? Why don't you do it verbatim? Plan it out verbatim. Meaning plan it out word for word first, so that she can feel more confident. And after a few practice, at the end of the day, right, she was really the one giving very clear instructions to the participants of Chongpang. Right, you could really see a growth there, not just in terms of the skill set, but in terms of the confidence that she had also. And this was in the midst of many, coach, I don't want to do this lah. Why so difficult? I cannot already. Right? I won't exactly call it breakdown, but there were many times that she actually said that she wanted to give up and wanted to not do that anymore. Yeah. So it's quite interesting. And let me show you some pictures, okay? So you see over here, these are the students doing the teaching and the coaching. Okay, and this is the group of the Chongpang residents. And then this is them running the competition with the fixtures and all that. Okay, the last picture is the teacher, myself, and giving out the rewards for the students. Okay, so the post-program review, I want to share some of the testimonials from the participants. Okay, one of the parent of the residents of Chongpang said that he was very thankful for the program, right? Because if we didn't do it, the son would still be playing computer games at home. Wow, this one made me very happy, and he also really had a lasting impact. I don't know whether it's lasting, okay, but it was a powerful impact on the students also. In terms of the skills that my students have learned, right? They learn how to speak up and give instructions, like I mentioned. And when it comes to the project management and timeline, I think they learn how to do that also, right? In terms of the fixtures and the score sheets, the administration, all that, majority was done by the students, okay? Now, I'm very proud of them for so many of these, right? And one of the other things I'm very proud of is the marketing team. Look at this. My very little instruction, right, was to like, hey, you know what? You online, right, got a lot of software and program free, right? You go and find how to do a banner. And they just like that, she go and do it. Okay, and this is like a 15-year-old girl, I think. I think she really got an eye for this kind of thing also lah. But amazing, right? 15 years old can do this kind of banner, and they put it up outside Chongpang CC, you know. So cool. Okay, and yeah, so these are some of the skill sets that they pick up that will be valuable skill set when they go to the working world, right? It may even help them explore the career that they are doing, whether they want to be a leader, whether they want to be in the administration, whether they want to be in design, whether they want to be a coach. These are really good opportunities that CCA can bring, other than just teaching the technical skills. Okay, and the characters and values that were picked up, I intentionally separate be a and we can, right? Because I think from young, our teachers, our parents always say, 你要做一个有用的人, you must be a contribution to society. We all know this in our head everywhere we go. But when they are 13, 14, 15 years old, they will feel so small. How to be a contribution in society? And even when you reach out to the older individuals, even adults, they will feel like, my skill set so limited. How can I be a contribution? Instead of telling them, I brought them through a whole learning experience, experiential learning, where they actually find out for themselves that, hey, we really can be a contribution. After they hear the testimony from the parents, after they see the smiles on their faces, and when they hear the feedback from the participants that, hey, can we have another run? They know that they have made an impact. And they know that they have the ability to be a contribution to society, no matter how big or how small their skill set is. Okay, yeah, so this is something I'm very proud that I did with one of the schools that I run. And the other example that I want to give is this Kluang Value in Action project. So I took a group of private students, a very small group, up to Kluang. Kluang is in Malaysia. Right, the first 2-3 days we did volunteering. And then the last 2-3 days, then we go for a badminton exchange program with the local badminton team, the club there. Yeah. So I just share the values in action part. The project ready when the project that we did in December was this. We were helping a family move from house A to house B. This family recently lost their father. The father just walked out of them like that. So they became the mom became a single mom. She had about 4 children, I think. Right, the youngest was around 2 years old, and the oldest was around 10 years old. Okay, rent was getting expensive, and our charity liaison over there found a place that has cheaper rent. So the project that we did was to clean up house B and to give a simple paint job and put some furniture there, and then move all the things from house A to house B. Okay. Now some of these are available in Singapore. Some of these volunteering experiences. But why this is different, you're going to hear it quite soon. And I do not wish for this to happen. Okay, it's not a nice thing, but nonetheless, it was really an opportunity to debrief and to create really impactful learning for VIA. On the day after the cleaning up, painting, and all that, on the day where we were supposed to shift things from house A to house B, we arranged with the mother that we will be there around 2 o'clock or so. I can't remember the exact time, right? But when we were there, the mother was not there, and the children were half naked, and they were all wet and filled with paint. Paint is a PAINT, paint, the house paint. And everywhere was like a mess. The clothes were not packed, everything was dirty and stuff. And the children were like having fun, running amok. Wow, so I never see my organizer so angry before, okay, and I've been there for years. Wow, and this was the time that I see him so frustrated, and he tell me like things like, "Wow, I see like help people so difficult," things like that. After 15 minutes or half an hour, the mom finally came back, and my organizer scolded her like, "Hey, why you leave your children here like that? You let the oldest one who is only like 10 years old take care of everyone, and like everything is even not even packed when we're supposed to move by now, right?" Then the mom, I think out of stress and frustration, also broke down and cried like, "Why everything is my fault? Why is it so difficult?" I started scolding the children. "Why you cannot help me take care of it?" Then after that, the organizer scolded the mom also. "Why you scold the children? It's not their fault. You are the adult. You must take charge." Wow, it was a chaotic scene. But this is the reason why it is impactful, and this is why I bring my children up there to volunteer. You won't get to see such things in Singapore. And as a social worker myself for some time, I will say this, when I was a volunteer manager, I make sure all the volunteering, right, is more or less prepared sui, right? If I want to shift things from house A to house B for a family, I will have spoken to the family for weeks and prepare them and make sure they're ready and organized before I execute something like that. When the volunteer come to shift the things, I'll make sure you'll be no problem one, And being in our culture of like excellence and efficiency, really chances are things should just move very quickly. And because of confidentiality and all that, you won't have so much chance to interact with the family, and you won't have an opportunity to see something like that. Now, I just want to say again that I really don't wish for this to happen again. But it was at that moment that I knew I could do a very powerful debrief with my students. I asked them like, "Hey, who do you think are ready? Who do you think will be ready for help, and who is not? How do you tell? How would you know that a family is ready or not ready for help, right? And who is worth helping, and who is not worth helping, right?" And I asked them also like, "Do you think this family will still be around? Will still survive after 2 months or 3 months?" We did it in December, and some of them were guessing like, by January, February, I think the house should just return to its original dirty state. And through my debrief with them, you could see the different values in the children also. Some of them like, were very upset. They were like, "Wow, waste of time. Why make me do all this?" And like, I think they won't even last like a few months. Yeah. So the debrief could also bring out certain things for you to address in the children. At the end of the day, I think that it was a powerful experience for children to see that helping people is not always so straightforward. Poverty is more than just giving money as a solution. Sometimes it's a systemic issue. Sometimes it's a lifestyle or mindset issue that we need to deal with, right? And I mean, just some details here, right? Other than just shifting the house, my organizer was also committed to helping them come up with a schedule every day so that the mother can manage the children and stuff like that. Yeah. So I was supposed to bring my students up from my secondary school in September this year to Kluang, but then this COVID thing, so I couldn't bring them this September, but I will bring them next year if let's say this COVID thing is more or less addressed or resolved. Yeah, so all right, now I shared how we can do more for CCA. I really believe that it's for the good of the children and it's more impactful and more long lasting than just teaching the technical skills. Okay? Yeah. So if you're interested to find out more or you want to do some form of collaboration, please drop me an email and get connected with me. And right now, I will want to share a bit more of why am I doing this sharing online on how to conduct CCA online. Okay. Yeah. So why am I doing this, right? Really, firstly, it's for the students. Okay. I know there are alternatives for the coaches to earn an income, such as like just being an ambassador for social distancing in schools, right? But that doesn't help the young ones who are stuck at home without any other activities to do other than doing home-based learning or their usual routine, which sometimes can be not so helpful, right? They're watching Netflix, YouTube, and I don't know what kind of content is going on in their head. I think doing home-based kind of exercise will help. There's so many science articles that says that exercise releases certain chemicals in the body that helps with the emotions and well-being of the person, right? And the other thing is that I think even with the smaller impact that we do with online CCA, I think it's better than nothing. And if we're looking at 3 months, 6 months, I think there's quite a bit that we can cover before we go back to school. And I'm really looking at the development and the progress of our young ones. That's my very first reason. But the second reason, right, and it's also a very big reason, is for the coaches. Now after this COVID thing, there were a lot of bodies or organizations that were formed to help people who have lost their income. I think one that most people will know about is the hawker, right? So there are a lot of websites that are helping hawker with delivery and helping them to get back some kind of revenue. But there really isn't one for coaches. And coaches really hit, I don't know is it worse or same as the hawkers lah, but it's no time to compare lah, okay? But they also hit very bad. Some of them I think at this point really zero income because cannot one. There's really no way to get any income during this period. And if I can do an online course like this to help them get some form of revenue or income, I'll be very glad to help them do that. Okay, so this is my second reason why I'm doing this. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm also just starting to do this myself, and it's really just out of a heart of wanting to share. Okay. Yeah. A little bit of admin stuff, right? For those who have registered for this talk through emailing me, why I had a lot of problem sending the emails out. I'm also learning on the go. But please check your spam and promotion box if you didn't receive like an email, flyer or pamphlet. You should see one that was sent out on Sunday morning 7 a.m. Okay. If you didn't get that or it's in your spam box, you have to allow me to say that you allow my email. Okay. I will go into the sharing proper, how to do eCCA online. A bit of background is that I've been mentoring youth since 2009. I work in a youth development charity for 5 years. Part of my time there, I was like a life coach counselor, and part of my time there, I was doing programs and volunteer management. I've been playing badminton since primary 5, and I've been a part-time coach for about 8 years, but full-time about 3 years. My wife is also as a educator and a youth worker in that sense, right? She's a GP tutor for 7 years. Now she's freelance full-time, and she's also been mentoring you for a long time. We are both very passionate about the mental and the emotional aspect of our youth, right? It's really more than just the skills. It's really more than what they can achieve or their success and failures, but it's really about their growth, in terms of the mental and emotional state. Okay. A few disclaimer before we start. Take notes. All right. I will not be sending the slides out at this point. Okay, ask question is not so relevant. It was more for those that were live lah. Okay. And a few other disclaimers is that look, I'm a badminton coach, and so very naturally I'll be sharing from a perspective of badminton. But I bear in mind that there are other sports, right? Even non-sports CCAs like band and drama, which I think are even more suitable for online CCA. Okay, right? You later on you will hear some examples. To make this applicable for everyone, I also try to share in principles so that it's transferable. But I need to give examples so that you have a sense of how to apply those principles. So I will try to balance between, okay? Now, copy and paste means do not copy and paste my program for your school. Not because I'm scared or what, right? I'm already posting this online, so I'm not scared that you want to copy and paste. But because every school has different dynamics and different profile, right? Some schools are like top 4 every year and they're more performance driven. Some schools are beginners, right? They want to create interest in the younger ones. Some are like primary school, some are like secondary school. Everyone is different, so don't copy and paste, right? Learn the principles and then do your own program. Last disclaimer I want to make is that, look, CCA online, right, is very possible, but it's also very challenging, okay? I'm not saying that I've successfully hit everyone and this is easy and let's all shift to online CCA. I'm sure at the end of the sharing, some people might realize that, hey, look, eCCA is still not viable, and I'm ready to accept that because it is really very challenging, okay? But the challenges can be overcome, and I'm going to share with you some tips how. Okay. So this is a extra recorded one. The rest of the content is specific for coaches and teachers, right? So from the session objective, you will see whether this is for teachers or coaches. All right, enjoy the session. Okay, so teachers, these are the session objectives. I want to give you a sense of what it takes, okay, to conduct CCA online. So a sense means some of you will say, I don't think it's possible. Okay, I'm prepared for that. In doing so, I will also be sharing how to plan an effective program, and I'll give you the breakdown of what a CCA can look like, and a 1 month and a 6 months overview of it. And I'll give you some tips of how to better engage your students based on my experience. Okay, so you will have some handles so that you can go back and discuss with your HOD and your coaches. All right, so let's start. Okay, while this is going to be recorded, you might want to take picture so that easier for you to discuss. All right, there are a few considerations that you need, okay, to look at when you want to decide whether eCCA is a viable option or not. Okay, and I categorize it in these 4 groups: the mindset, skill set, resources, and the student profile. Okay, so in conversation with different teachers and coaches, I realized that certain mindset helps and certain mindset doesn't, right? Among the mindset that doesn't, right, actually it's not all too bad. They actually truly care for the students. It's just that during this period of change, it's not so helpful to help the rest. Okay, so skill set is more like the technical skills that you need, like how to do video editing and stuff. Resources is more about what you need physically, the camera, the computer, and stuff like that. And the student profiles is to consider whether they are expert or whether they are beginners, whether it's a team sport or not, the age group and stuff like that. Now, all in all, right, I honestly feel that eCCA can be done. When you make all these 4 considerations, even the most jialat one, you will just need to find a way to put your focus on the challenges and how to overcome it, right? And then you need to make the consideration for yourself whether it's worth your time to overcome those challenges or not. Okay, so let me go deeper into these 4 points. So, mindset that helps. The first one, right, you must be prepared to be constantly overcoming challenges. Okay, wow, the first week that I posted my videos online and asked my students to do, I got close to zero response. And if you are the kind that like, "Aiya, jialat, forget it, not worth it," this will be very hard for you. Okay, but if you have a mindset that is overcoming challenges, right, you will brainstorm, you will fight, and you will try to think of ways to do it, which I did. And as of now, right, every week, from a few posts, right, I think now I got around 20 posts from the different schools combined all together. Yeah, so it's possible, but you need to be prepared to overcome challenges. Okay. The other challenge that you will be facing is all the safety issues and boundaries, like RAMs, confidentiality. Again, right, it is really important to have that mindset to want to overcome all this and work around it, rather than just give a simple and hard no. Okay, I will share that in the last point that will on the right side that says willing to navigate and reconsider boundaries. Okay, but the second mindset is that 1% improvement is still better than 0%. Why this is important is because a lot of the coaches or teachers say that, Joel, you do one video a day to teach one skill set. Like that, where got effective? And like, this is too easy for some, this is too difficult for some. My point is that if I don't do anything during this period, nothing, these 6 months, I will see zero progress in my students. Zero. But if I every day do a bit, right? Today I reach the beginners, next week I reach the advanced, and every day I do a bit, at least I see 5, 10, 15% better than nothing. Okay? So if you have the mindset that like, wow, so difficult, then so little, no point, it will not work. But if you have a mindset that 1% improvement is better than none, this will be helpful during this period. Next one is the willingness to step out of comfort zone, right? And to venture into this unknown territory for everyone. Actually, to summarize this point, right, is the willingness to learn. Yeah. No one knows what lies ahead. No one has ventured into this territory. If you are the kind that are very willing to learn, to be humble and to say, I don't know, okay, let me learn a new skill set, this will be the most helpful during this period. The fourth one is the ability to make mistakes and try again. I made plenty, okay. You see my first few video in my YouTube channel, right? It's jialat one. Yeah. So I made a lot of mistakes. I learned it the hard way. But I think this is what helped me get to where I am today. And I suppose it will be helpful for most of us too. Right. The last one about willingness to navigate and reconsider boundaries rather than avoid. I want to share a bit more about this, okay? Now is when I talk to the schools, right, the first thing that they say, the first response was like to one, right? Because I asked for some form of evaluation or response. I said that as I do all these exercise videos, I want to know that they are doing. Teachers say do quiz. I say, ayo, because I was a very naughty student last time, right? Then I know that there's a way to cheat one. If you do quiz, you don't have to do the exercise one. So I said I want some form of video evidence kind of thing. Yeah, but it was difficult because there were challenges like confidentiality, cyberbullying, which are very real. The teachers said that they don't want the students to post a video and then people go and take screenshot of their house, make fun of what is there and stuff like that. Okay. Now the last point where I say willing to navigate is this. We shouldn't take a hard stance on yes or no. Meaning when we talk about confidentiality or safety, right, we shouldn't just outright say no it's too dangerous. No. No consideration, no thinking, no nothing. We will not progress. Okay? But we also shouldn't swing to the other end that say, no we must do it without thinking about all these challenges and boundaries. In other words, being ignorant of the dangers. We shouldn't take that stance also. I think the answer lies somewhere in between these two polar ends and try to navigate the boundaries around it. I'll give you one example. I believe all of us were in a time that handphone was not so popular and students were trying to sneak in handphone to school, right? I was one of those students, or maybe you were a teacher already and you have students trying to sneak in. Look at where we are now. Phones are mostly allowed in schools, but with certain boundaries and restrictions. Some schools say that, if I see in class, once I see it, I'll confiscate it till the end of the week or till the end of the day, right? Some schools are a bit more liberal, right? As long as you're using for research and stuff like that, it's possible. But look, as much as the teachers hated seeing handphone in the very beginning, it was an inevitable progress. And the answer lies neither in the hard no or the easy yes, but it lies somewhere in between, right? The other thing that I want you to consider is this. If we say no to all these dangers, right, we are not teaching our children, our youth, how to navigate this world. Right? We are moving very fast technologically. Right? Even if we don't do Zoom from coaches to students, they are also going to do it with strangers. They are watching YouTube, they are connecting with people online, and we can protect them here. Who is going to protect them out there? I submit to you a better way, right, is to equip them with the right mindset and skill set to help them to navigate this dangerous world. Tell them things like, okay, how do you spot maybe a sexual predator, or how do you protect your own confidentiality? How do you make sure that your photos are not and stuff like that? If you give them this skill set, it will be applicable to every chat room that they go or every online platform that they use. Rather than you just close one door and they learn nothing, you just protected them one time only. It's not really an empowering kind of move. Okay, so do consider we're moving very fast. Let's see how we can equip them to handle this situation. One more small point is that, when my teachers don't allow us to contact the students, don't do Zoom and all that. Actually, I find it very funny because we are all MOE cleared. What I mean, especially the teachers and the coaches as well. We're MOE RS certified. You block us, right? But honestly, they are going online to do a lot of other funny things. It's not going to help them. So it just points back to the point that I say, number one, navigate and reconsider. Number two, equip the students. Teach them how to navigate. Okay, so a few challenges that I face, a few unhelpful mindset that I met, or I heard from teachers and from coaches. The disclaimer that I want to say is also that actually this mindset can be helpful and it's actually for the best of the student, just not at this time. Mindset like, I want to reach everyone. So the teacher say, well, but you do like that, some people find it too easy, what? But you do like that, some people find it too hard, what? But I mentioned just now, if you have this mindset, it's very hard for you to progress or move on, right? But you just need to focus on at least I get some things done, at least I help some people improve. It's better than none, okay? The second one is the teachers or the coaches who cannot let go, who wants to plan an as effective program as a live lesson. I got a lot of requests, through the emails that say, how do I plan a program that is as impactful and as effective as being there? Sorry, I don't think it's possible. If that one is possible, right, we will all be doing it already. Coaches will not need to travel down to the school. It's so easy to do it at the comfort of their home, right? But there is a reason why live lesson is still better. And we need to be realistic. Okay, so have a realistic expectation. The last one about videos are not good enough. I'm speaking to those who are very perfectionist, which I am one myself, kind of. So I will retake the video, retake, and then actually I procrastinated very long before I posted the first video, right? Because I felt like, wow, so embarrassing so paiseh I don't want to put myself out there for scrutiny. But at the end of the day, I realized this is not a helpful mindset during this period, and I really need to overcome this. Okay. All right, the next consideration is the skill set. Okay, there are just these 3 points that I want to share. The first one is the creativity, flexibility, adaptability, and innovative. Actually, the 4 is just synonyms. They are all the same thing, similar things. But I can't stress enough how important this is. You will see how I adapt badminton coaching into different things like, instead of using shuttlecock, why not use ping pong ball? Some people will ask, but the weight of the ping pong is different from the shuttlecock. The shape and how it reacts with the racket is all different. But I think that it will at least help with hand-eye coordination. It will at least help with your hand movement as you swing the racket. Doesn't it help with that for the beginners? It still does, right? So we need to which comes down to the second point. We need to do scaffolding, which I think the teachers are very familiar with. We need to let go certain things in order to help them progress and take the next step. Of course, a ping pong ball won't be the same as a shuttlecock, right? But for beginners, it may not be as important, As long as I teach them the hand movement of a backhand, or forehand, at least there is some coordination there, right? So the first 2 points is related one, okay? You need to be creative and flexible. You need to be able to let go certain things and scaffold the learning so that we can craft out a program for them. The last one is the eyes and skills for video editing. Hey, I tell you, this one I never thought that I had. Actually, until now, I still don't think that I have. It's really not easy, but I really have to force myself to learn on the job. The video that you probably saw, it was actually just my third or fourth video that I done myself. The rest of all my exercise videos I send for post-production. Meaning I record the video, right? Then I ask my friend to edit it. Then they post it online. Until it's in a state that I can post it online. So it's a valuable skill set. I'm still learning, and I think that it is possible for people to learn. Okay? Okay. The next 3 slides should be on considerations in terms of the resources. Right? We will talk about the external resources and then those for the students and the teachers also. In my first sharing, I put a very low price for the video editor, right? And then my video editor scolded me because they say, hey, that one is friendship price lah. You cannot do that. Yeah, so actually this is the real price. The real price is $80 to $200 per video that you send for them to edit. You know, for a 1-2 minute kind of video. Why the big range of 80 to 20, right? It depends on how many layers you want them to edit. Subtitle is 1 layer, right? The effects are, you know, the bell that came up, the word coaches came up, you know, the details of the sharing, the timing and all that came up. Those are additional layers. The more layers, the more expensive. If you just want to do a simple editing, there will be $80. Okay. Now, in the exercise videos that I posted, I will give you, actually the emails that I send, you will see the link for my YouTube page, right? And you will see that I did a lot of home-based exercise. I didn't come up with them myself. I had a physiotherapist who planned it for me, right? And I got 6 months settled. Yeah. The next one is fitness instructor. I think they are same as physiotherapists, but the okay, don't quote me for it, and I just share from my own personal experience and knowledge. I personally feel that physiotherapists have a very, very high level of distinction in terms of the anatomy, the joints and ligaments and the muscle, movement and injury prevention, right? So they could they were very good at advising me how to conduct this in a safe manner and how conducting these exercises, right, will help them prevent injury next time. So I thought like, wow, very good lah. It helped me gain credibility with my school teachers also ma. So I just bought off a program from them lor. Yeah. So I'm not sure whether fitness instructors can do that, but you can consider that also. Okay. The last one is filmmaking trainer. Okay, actually the better term is a content creator. Right. So I attended this content creator course 2 years ago. And 2 years later, actually I still remember how to do it. So I highly recommend you to him. And I worked out the deal with him to provide the best rate. Okay. Now this 970, right, is before is the actual price lah. The 132 is after WSQ funding. They are a WSQ certified company. And honestly, this 132, right, you can also use your Skills Future to pay. So it's very possible to attend the whole course paying $0. Yeah, super good deal, right? Okay, I will give you the information at the end of the whole sharing. Okay, just to assure you guys, I'll give you the context or I'll find a way to link you all these resources at the end of the whole sharing, okay? So hold on there, don't worry about it. Okay, the next slide is just to let you have a sense how much money needs to be involved for the teachers and coaches, right? My computer is around 2K, but I bought it around 4-5 years ago. It's not very high end. And when I was buying, I did see a few computer that meet the specification at around 1K. Mine is 2K because I just wanted something very slim, right? So I think 1K should be enough. In terms of software, there are plenty out there, right? They are free of charge. But of course, Chinese is 一分钱一分货, right? And English is you get what you pay for. So on the free software, I may take 10 minutes to edit something, right? That my $70 software can do with a click of a button. Okay, so $70 is just what I choose to pay. You don't have to pay this amount. Okay, camera, right? According to my content creator friend, right? Wow, you just use a phone can already. Nowadays the phone is so high tech. it will give you enough resolution. I'm just blessed that I have a friend who lent me her $800 camera. Okay, so I put that there so that you know the quality comes from where. The next two items can be bought from Carousel. Tripod is the one that you hold the camera or your phone. It costs around $20–30, right? And you can put lighting to make it look better. Otherwise, actually my house is very, very yellow, okay? So if I don't do post editing, it will look very ugly. One solution is you buy lighting at $90. The other solution, right, is after every recording, right, you need to edit. You need to go and do video editing, which consumes a lot of time. Of course, the one solution for lighting is you just film in sunlight, but not everyone's house is that bright. Okay, so these are some considerations that you can have or your coaches might consider. Okay, what about the students? For myself, we talk about shuttlecock, I'm sure they can just take from me. Okay, so maybe when school reopen, I'll just find a way to distribute them from the school somehow. I mentioned just now how ping pong ball can be useful. So for the other sports like basketball, soccer, even tennis, do consider something cheap and maybe easier to distribute during this time. Go to Shopee. Shopee got a lot of good deals. Right? I saw ping pong ball $3 for 10 ping pong ball. Right? So if I got 20, 50 students, 80 students, not too expensive. Exercise band is a very good alternative to weights. You can't put weights in everyone's hand, and certain exercises are actually very easy to do, right? So you still need some form of resistance, and exercise band is very cheap. Okay, yoga mat is not compulsory one, but it's more comfortable. Okay, the cheapest one is $3. Most expensive is $30. $3 is like those swimming pool foam, the foam material kind, right? Not very nice to step on, but it still works. I would think if you have the budget, just go for something $15, $20 would be enough. Okay. For the other CCA, like robotics or band, you might want to think how to give some musical instrument that you can pass to them, or maybe we will not touch any of this instrument during this period. It is still possible. Okay. Non-sports CCA teachers like band and dance and drama. Hang on, I'm going to share about it later. It's very viable. Okay, last consideration before I take a 2-minute break. Okay, the last consideration is the profile of the CCA and the profile of the students. So you see, there are different types of CCA, right? There are team sports, individual sports, right? And there's also non-sports. There's also uniform group. You need to consider what type of CCA, and then you need to know what are the needs, right? How to help them grow or improve. We need to think about the level of expertise also. At every year, top 4 badminton school versus a beginner kind of badminton school will have a very different need and a very different way of engaging them. I will share that related to the interest and motivation later. Okay. The next one is RAMs, right? So RAMs, I give you an example for mine. When I do these home-based exercises, when I submitted RAMs, right, I put the most the person can get into trouble with is when he do the lunge, right, or when he do jumping jacks, right, he sprain his ankle. But the sports teachers here will understand that, wow, if you can stand on the spot and sprain your ankle while doing lunges, I don't know, I think it's one kind of sway or jala. Right, but it's not impossible, okay? So I still submit it over there, but the probability is very low. The other one is I put furniture, right? So make sure they are not doing this near furniture so that they don't lose their balance, pull something down, injure themselves, stuff like that. Okay? So interest and motivation and level of expertise is quite similar. Let me explain. If you have a top 4, every year top 4 kind of school, right? Your expertise will be high, and your motivation, right, will be performance. So your program, right, will be geared towards all this. You can do things like, okay, by the end of this week, I want you to run 5 km. You decide for yourself, 1 km today, 2 km tomorrow, 3 km the next day, up to you. I give you a push-up challenge, right? By the end of 2 weeks, you must do 500 push-ups. Take a video, right? So this is for the expert and for the performance motivated one. Right? But the lower expertise one, like beginners one, and the interest not so high one, right? Like my schools, what I do is I do interesting videos for them. I do trick shots, right? So that they will be interested to learn things that I cannot do in a normal day because the the school will be quite geared towards preparing for national games. But then now there is no national games to speak of. I can gather more of their interest by doing such things. I also plan to do interesting videos with them. Maybe perhaps like bloopers or like how funny shots that can happen in the game or how they embarrass themselves and stuff like that, right? Yeah, okay, so I'm going to conclude for the considerations. You see, the mindset, skill set, resources, and student profile, right? You can look at this, right, and have a sense whether your CCA is suitable for eCCA or not. But my own sense is that actually every CCA can be translated. It's just how are we going to reach it only. No matter what student profile, there is a way to help them progress on, whether they are high performing or beginners, right? Resources is just finding a way to get the cheapest one and get it to everyone, right? Skill set or mindset is so internal. And I feel, and I say this to the coaches also, as coaches, we keep telling the students, hey, learn, try. Hey, I think we need to put our money where our mouth is. We also need to learn, try, fail, it's okay one. We always say this to our students, right? I also need to humble myself now and learn how to do this myself, right? And with that, I feel like it's a viable option for everyone. It's just whether we want to do it or not. And even those that have trouble with skill set, right? With the resources that I'm providing at the end of this, I will say that it's even more possible for everyone. Okay? Let me take a 2 minutes break, right? To just not talk, right? And I will just look at the questions and I'll come back to you in 2 minutes. Let me time. Chun 2 minutes, Someone requested for slides on skill set. Okay, so this is it. Oh, you want to see the resources one also, Okay. Okay, I'm going to go to the resources slide. This slide, right, I will explain further at the end because it's something that I want to offer the schools and the coaches. Okay, this one is what you need to prepare. But the numbers are for me, okay? You don't have to do this. If you listen to my explanation, I also give you alternatives. Computers can be just 1K. There are free softwares out there to do video editing, and you can just use your phone camera. Okay, last one is more specific for badminton, but you can consider what is a viable option for your own sports. BN Lim asks what is RAM. I have a very big clue here that BM Lim is not a teacher and you are in the wrong sharing. Wow, if you're a teacher and you cannot be teacher, don't know what is RAM, right? Or maybe new teacher, Okay. RAMS is risk assessment management. So every teacher who do sports will know that they need to do this. I think even non-sports also need, right? Yeah. When you do band also need, Yeah. For team sports and coordination, can later I share with you. Okay. If I never share with you, Wing Heng, if I never answer your question, at the end of the sharing, right, you ask again, I will get to you. Okay, 2 minutes. Let me get back. Okay, I got the most requests for the next segment. Okay, which is the 6 months plan and how to plan an effective eCCA program. Okay, so just now I mentioned that one of the skill set that is very important is breaking down of the learning, right? The flexibility and adaptability part. And I think the result of this slide is from that. But after I do this, right, then my wife tell me, hey, actually MOE got share what a CCA means to them. But it's still not exactly the same. I think I gave a very simplified form and easy to digest form. Okay, so in most CCA, okay, I say all sports and most non-sport CCA, you can categorize them in these 3 levels. First, right, the fitness is the physical aspect, right? So the stamina, strength, agility, and speed, right? Even sports like, even CCA, like let's say robotics, fitness remains the critical thinking part, okay? And maybe like band, maybe drama, fitness will still be the same, stamina, speed, agility, and all this, right? The technique part is the CCA specific, sports specific one. For example, badminton have their own rules, techniques, strategies, right? Soccer, basketball, floorball, all have their own. Similarly, for band, choir, robotics, they all have their very unique skill set that is specific to their CCA. The last one is the social emotional learning, which is the mental resilience, teamwork, communication, empathy, patience, which every CCA can have a chance to develop, right? Especially if you came for the first 45 minutes of my, it was 15 minutes of my sharing, you will see how I can demonstrate it in a CCA of badminton also. I'll give you more examples later on. Okay, so I want to now share for all the non-sports CCA one, okay? And I want to share why I feel that online CCA is even more viable for this kind of performing arts one. So my wife is the one who suggested all this, and I think it was brilliant, okay? So let's take two examples. Let's do band and drama, okay? Dance lah, choir lah, all that you improvise. Okay, so hold on, you can help me mute Kenny. I think he unmute himself. So let's say for
我開多個好啲啦，應該。
Okay, my wife is going to mute everyone soon. You can just keep mute on. Then I mute myself. Okay, but anyway, we realize that for non-sports CCA, the line might be a bit more blurred between fitness technique. Okay, but it can still be done. For example, right, we talk about drama. Why not every month explore one emotion? Okay, drama, right, need to learn how to be emotional, so maybe 1 month about anger, right? Then the second month, right, do something similar but different, frustration, right? And in the 1 month, 1 whole month to expound on one emotion. I tell you, there's so many things, okay? But I guess this is because I was trained as a life coach and I know all this. So if you need help to develop this, right, reach out to me. Okay, at the end of this session, I have a feedback form. But for example, emotions, you can talk about the physical, meaning 1 or 2 weeks, you can explore the face. What does anger look like? The eyebrows will cringe, the eyes will be maybe bloodshot or what. The breathing will be heavy and equal, right? And the body disposition will be leaning forward with the fist out, muscles contracted. That's anger. What about the tone of the voice, right? Take another 1 week or 2 weeks to explore that, right? You will usually be loud, the words will be cutting, right? Some people will use a lot of words, some people will use very little words, right? Another way we will talk about what goes on in the head, right? What is the person thinking? The person just thinking about like doing damage, right? Creating havoc or creating some kind of reaction with people, okay? So 1 month, explore one emotion. Then the next month, right, we explore maybe like frustration. Frustration, maybe you feel more like you're being trapped rather than anger, right? Like you just want to break through, right? So being trapped, maybe people will cry. Maybe they will feel hopeless, right? So mentally, they will think of this kind of thing. How does it show up with the face, right? Maybe instead of like all contracted, you'll be like looking up, looking around, looking for a solution. Or you might be looking down because you're avoiding giving a response. Okay, so drama, there is so many things, and I just gave you only 2 emotions. There's so many more. Happiness, excitement, surprise, so many. Okay, what about band? Band can do something similar to emotion, but maybe you want to explore the genre of different music. Okay, the genre right? So we can, there's different tempo, a fast pace versus a slow pace kind of music. And what are its effects on us, right? People use workout music because the heartbeat faster and it gets our adrenaline going and it motivates us, right? Whereas when you go to a fine dining place, they will play slower music. There's a reason behind all this. Explore it. Give your students a more in-depth understanding of the CCA. Right? Every month, explore one genre in different aspect. Right? Maybe first week, history. How did it come from? My little knowledge of music also tell me that certain genre come from 2 different subgenres, right? And you can explore the different history of music. Second week will be the pace and tempo maybe. Then the third one maybe its effects on the body. Then maybe fourth one, like what are its users and in real life case studies, how do people do it? So many, I think it's so fun to explore this. Yeah. Anyway, okay, I will move on to the next slide. This is my 1 month breakdown. Okay, I will do 8 full length exercise videos, right? Because a few reasons. One, I want my students to know that I'm doing this with them. I don't want to give instructional videos only because I want them to feel like I'm not just a coach that just talk and say, hey, you do the exercise, but I never do. No, so I will do with them one, okay? Full length. The other reason is that it's very easy to edit full length videos. The expectation lower, so I no need to get my instructions correct. In my full length video, sometimes I say like, sorry, I say wrongly. What I mean is that it's okay, it's fine. Okay. I will also do 4 badminton drills to practice. These videos are about 2 minutes long. So you see my my channel, I did juggling the shuttle, scooping the shuttle from the floor and things like that. It's just 2 minutes, and then I get them to practice it. So this is the technical skill part. The 4 badminton knowledge will be like the rules of the game, the strategies and stuff like that. I will show you a 6 months plan for a few of these segments in a bit. Okay, the next one is the character development. I put 1 only because I think there's room to improve can do more but I just not so confident. If you think you can do a good job, go ahead and do more. I will give you more plans later also. Okay, the last one is sorry, I go a bit fast on the first, the badminton drills, knowledge and character development, because the next 3 slides I will develop those further. Okay, but the one that I want to talk about in this slide, right, is the 4 sessions of contact time. I want to push for this, but it has been difficult to push because I mentioned just now about the security issue and confidentiality. But why I want to push for this is because ever since the lockdown in different countries, not just Singapore, the rise of mental health cases have increased. And this is a known thing, right? Yeah, Channel News Asia reported this, I think, on Friday. I want to say now, and I hope that this message spread across, that I think the term social distancing is not accurate. It is not social distancing. It is physical distancing. The government wants us to keep 1 meters apart. That's understandable, but it's not social distancing. We need to keep our physical distance, but we need to be socially connected to our friends, right? So this contact time that I'm asking for, right, is to make sure that the students don't feel alone. That's all. The objective may not be very high, right? I'm not talking about like reaching or reaching a lot of like content or course objective during this 4 session. I'm just talking about FaceTime, engaging them and meeting them. Okay. I'm also exploring writing journal with them so that I can hear whether they are facing any struggles at home. Now, during the home-based learning, I think it's tough on everyone from teachers to coaches. Okay, so and I wonder who is going to listen to all these students, and they are so engaged in social media. There's so much knowledge out there. Who's going to filter all the information? There are a lot of content out there, but the content good one or not? Yeah, so this contact time, I want to push for is so that at least there's some form of sanity and make sure that emotionally people are in check. Okay, I personally sometimes even play games with my students. Okay, play Mobile Legend, online game, just so that we are in contact in case anything happens. Okay, so share you my 6 months overview about the character development part. So this one is the 1 month ones on the right. So many things to explore. Right, for example, the first month I can talk about respect before and after a game. Right, you know that in sports we have to stroke with our partner, warm up before the game starts, and then we shake hands with the umpire and the opponent. Right, so I'm going to take up clips from YouTube and just show them what is the right way to do this. Right? Although all these things is very small, right? But all these things still take time during normal training. So I might as well do this one time here, right? Then when school or when CCA resume, right, I save the time, no need to do all this, See, some improvement is still better than none. I want to do all this during this period, right? Then respect during a game, right? What if a linesman made a bad call? Just to give the sports coaches, sports teachers an idea here, right? When I do debrief with them about respecting linesmen when they make a bad call, I don't stand for shouting, arguing, but neither do I stand for like just letting it be. I tell my students to respectfully go to the umpire and respectfully say, Empire, I think that was a bad call. Are you very sure that it is correct? Right? I saw that it's in. Whatever you say, I will listen to you. Right? But I want to let you know that I don't think it's a good call. And then let the umpire decide. Right? This is a respectful way to not be a pushover, not be just taking anything that comes and be passive. But at the same time, it is not overboard. Right? You will not be accused of being disrespectful like that. Right? So I just give you 2 examples, but there are so many more that can go along the 6 months. I will just to let you have a sense how it can operationalize. I can either take clips of athletes, top level athletes who display some of these values, like respect or empathy or honor, and I can show the students how they do it. The other way that I think it can be done, right, is I can ask them to practice it. You look at October, right? I talk about patience towards a weaker teammate. I see this very often in doubles play, right, or even in the whole team, right? People will blame like, our team so weak. I will try to get them to be more encouraging instead, right? So maybe the right term is encouraging, or maybe patience. And while they cannot interact with their friends in a CCA setting, they still have many people in their circle. For example, their classmates or their family. I'm thinking of doing a journal where they can either do an act of the character that we're talking about this month. So let's say patience, right? Why not you show an act of patience or grace towards your mother or father, right? Or maybe one step down is no need to do an act, right? But why not you write about an act you saw in school or at home that displayed patience or grace? And then this will help them to think or expose themselves to the different values. And so it's I do think that there are a lot of ideas that are possible. Okay, so in terms of badminton knowledge, and again, this can be replicated or map out onto other CCAs, even non-sports, right? So for me, in June, I'll talk about the rules. 1 week talk about doubles, 1 week talk about singles, 1 week talk about your racket can go over the net or not, service height and all that. The other one talk about your shoe, your what. So many things to talk about, okay? In July, we talk about different attributes of a good player. It can be the same, like if you're non-sports, right? It could be different attributes of a good guitar player or a good singer or a good actor, right? Most people will be familiar for athletes, they must be strong, powerful, accurate. What about the mental capacity? What about the ability to drown out noises? What about the underdogs fighting under pressure? Other than speed and power, there's also stamina and focus. There are also players who can read the game very well and innovate. There are also players that are very tricky and unpredictable. There are so many attributes of a good player. We can do case studies and we can just show examples. Okay, equipment. A lot can be spoken about equipment also, because actually every other day I get students who ask me, for example, for badminton, hey, what is the best racket? Wow, I tell you, I don't know how many times I answered this one already. I say there's no such thing as a best racket. Otherwise, all the top level athletes will just use one racket. There is only a suitable racket, not a best racket. You got head light, head heavy, you got stiff and flexible, you got high tension, low tension. All these different attributes will mean different results. You can have 1 week explaining about the strings, 1 week explaining about the racket, 1 week explaining about the shoe. So many things, okay? So a lot of things to develop. Okay. So I want to wrap up the planning stage, right, of this 6 months curriculum. What I share with you is that in theory, how you can plan, right? Once you have come up with all these broad picture then you can go more details on each session, how you're going to operationalize or develop it further. You come up with your script, you come up with the scenes that you want to shoot, and what videos you need and stuff like that. Okay? So part of this production of the videos, besides the planning, will be then the filming and the editing. This is 2 different things. Filming means the recording, and then editing means the touching up. I had feedback from the other session that this is not so relevant to teachers, and I understand. Right? I don't expect the teachers to be doing this. But what I want you to why I want to share this is just so that you have a glimpse of what your coaches might need to do. And I also know that there are some teachers who double as coaches and you are considering to do filming editing. So I'm just going to very quickly and very briefly bring you through for you to have a sense how much time it takes to produce one video. Okay? So what makes it more difficult to record if it's like one take, cannot make mistake one. Like you want to do trick shots, then my trick shot I took very long to master it, so it took very long for me to record. One action different angle is like maybe I want to do a lunge, right? Forward lunge. I need a side angle and a front angle. Okay, so all this will take up more time. Memorizing instructional lines. You know the video that I sent out, the 2-3 minutes video. I took 15 minutes to record because I keep fumbling. And as I read it out, I realized that I missed certain info. Then I tried to cut the words because I don't want to be too lengthy. At the end of it, I took many attempts to record. Okay, so that's filming. We talk about editing. Subtitle is a pain. Oh, it's really very tedious, but it's not complicated. Okay, when I say simple, simple doesn't mean easy. Simple just means not complicated. Subtitles is a very simple process, but a very tedious process. I will show you in a bit. Effects means like, you know, when the word pop up, like coaches, teachers, or like when the information about Zoom pop up, those are the effects. Okay, color correction is like if my house is very yellow, how do I make it more white now so that it's more pleasant to the eyes? Okay, I will show you the numbers involved. Then I show you one example. Okay, so I three videos. One is a 20 minutes video. This 20 minutes video that I posted, it took me, you see below here, without a video editor, right, it took me about 1 hour to 1 hour 40 minutes to do. Okay, but if I pay someone $70, $120, it will take around this amount. Oh, I didn't edit this. This one is friendship price. Okay, in reality, out there is around 100 to 200. Yeah. So I break it down for you. Set up a camera like that. It took me 20-30 minutes because it's a full-length exercise. I didn't need to re-record. All this takes time, okay? Uploading it to the computer. Then I do the color correction. Okay, you asked me what is rendering. Let me explain it briefly, and then I'll show you later. You see, when you do a video, right? When you record a video, your recording is here, like that. Okay, this is like the people looking from here, this view. Okay, when you do subtitles, it's like adding a layer on top of it. So that when people see, right, people will see the subtitles on your video, right? And then when you add like, oh, the coaches, the teachers, or the light bulb, is another layer and another layer and another layer. So one film that I produce, right, got many layers. Rendering is the act of like super glue everything together like that, right? Or melting it together, whatever you call it. I will show you a little bit later. Get back to just 2 more examples. Okay, so 20 minutes video here take about 1 hour for me to produce. Actually 1 hour 40 minutes. The 3-minute video that most people saw, right, it took me also around 1.5 hours to do, okay, because the longest thing, right, is the subtitles. Super jialat, okay? Later show you why. Okay, I did a trick shot video. It's just 2 minutes long, right? But the planning took me 60 minutes over a few days. That means I think, then I rest, then the next day I think again. At the end of this roughly 60 minutes, right, I came up with 9 videos to produce. The first 3 videos is trick shot for beginners, then trick shot for advanced, then trick shot for expert. So it took me 60 minutes to plan. Then I did 20-40 minutes to record the first video. Then color correction, adding effects, subtitles, again the killer. This 2-minute video took me almost 4 hours to do all together. But if I pay someone, right, it will be $80 to $120. Okay, so I show you, I show you now a brief process, what it means to edit video. My screen showing over there? No. Okay. Can see all? Okay, I just checking on my wife's screen. Okay, so you see my mouse. This is my camera recording. Okay, this is the background music. This is all the effects. So you see what I mean by layers. So in a video, right, where, okay, you see this screen here right now. This screen here got the word intermediate 20 to 100 and these subtitles. These are the layers that I added. I double click this, see what shows up. if you're advanced, okay. So this layer here is the subtitle. This layer will then be the intermediate 20 to 100, this one. So you see this red line, right? It's like the eyes view lah. So one view like that at this point got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. Below actually I got add sound effect also lah. So let me show you how to add subtitles, okay? It's very simple one. You see on the top left here my mouse, you see it says titles. I click titles, I click subtitles, I choose a type that I like, and I drag. Then I put here. Okay? Then you see it appears here like that. But you see how many blocks I have to put? You see this line over here? So it's a process of dragging like 20,000 times. Wow, I tell you, it's really very tedious, okay? So that's why subtitles is a killer for me. Okay? Alternative is pay someone to do it, lor. But of course, the person will charge you money also lah. Okay. So I mentioned why I'm sharing this with you, although I don't expect you to be doing this. This is what your coaches need to do, right? And if they choose to pay someone to do it, it will also cost money. So you might need to factor that in the cost. Definitely no way to pay your coaches is by the number of minutes of the video, okay? I will faint, okay, if my teachers want to pay me 2 minutes worth of coaching for a 2 minutes video, I will die. I spent 4 hours to do it. Okay, give me a 2 minutes break. Then let me see some questions. Wow, a lot of questions eh. Okay, Shay, I see your questions, right? I know I answered some, but I'll answer some later. Let me give a summary. So for everyone's information, right? Shay asked, what about the safety considerations at home? I mentioned that about the ramps just now already. For my static home-based exercises that I took from the physio, the risk is very low, but I mitigate even further by advising that don't do near furniture and stuff like that. They can even do it near the lift landing if it's safer for them. Okay. In my other session, the teacher asked, should they wear shoe or not? I think that my home-based exercise don't need but if they really want to, they wear shoe and go outside and do it's also okay lah. Shay also asked how do we engage parents, and what about parents who are not at home, cannot monitor and cannot give access to their children, cannot give access of the computer to their children. I think all these little details, right, we might need to work out one by one, and teachers also need to brainstorm and see how we can do this lah. One of my slides later, I talk about how we might be able to engage parents. Honestly, I haven't. Actually, I did with my private students, and it has been very effective. I will share more about it later, okay? Inform them about responsibility over the equipment loan to them. I don't plan to loan the equipments to them because I'm talking about like a 30-cent pong ball and a $2, what you call that? The exercise band, right? Okay, this is my wishful thinking and what I think or I hope to happen. I honestly don't think all the coaches out there can do CCA online. Is there a possibility to channel just some fun from some of these CCA that's not doing it during this period, right? Just to buy those cheap equipments for the students. You talk about exercise band is $2, right? You know, if let's say $2 for 80 students, $190 for one-time payment, then for the rest of the 6 months, I think quite worth it lah. I'm actually a little bit prepared to absorb the cost or to share the cost with the teachers also. I got very steady teachers, so maybe they're watching this and maybe they will get my hint. Yeah, but I don't know lah. We need to work out something. I don't have a solution for everyone. I got a message from a teacher who say for journaling, right, can use SLS as a platform. Yeah, so okay, that's quite possible. But then the coaches cannot see SLS. I got try to ask for rights. I don't think I'll ever get it. but you know, some students are closer to the teachers, but some students are closer to the coaches also. How long is my eCCA per session? Oh, hey, sorry, my break time is 3.5 minutes already. Okay, last questions and I move on to the slides. How long is eCCA per session? It depends on your lesson objective. You will see that I have full length exercises that are 20 minutes. There are also some that I do 3 minutes and I ask them to go and practice. Okay, so I can't give a answer for everyone. It depends on your objective. Okay, let me carry on with the slides. Okay, the next segment, I will talk about how to engage students better. Okay, one by one. Don't get ahead of me, okay? Let me explain. First one, right? I think the most basic way to attract them and to engage them, right, is to provide fun and interesting content. It's the most powerful, but also the most difficult. You need to be funny, interesting, talented, blah, 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 and all that. But you see how powerful it is on YouTube. People get millions of subscribers on there. And it's not as if their content is super, super valuable, but it's just very interesting and very appealing. Okay? I'm also learning and I'm also working on it. So I try to add these little sound effects here and there. I have friends in the industry who teach me how to do that. So I'm also going to provide these resources to you and to your coaches. So first and foremost, this is the best but the most difficult way to engage the students. Second one over here is to get them to carry out the acts at home or in school, right? For SEL. I mentioned just now for them, for example, like getting them to do it to the friends, you know, asking them to show appreciation to their teammates and stuff like that. Okay. Next one, journal writing. I also mentioned already. It can be I wouldn't say aimless lah, but it could be like not so heavy content or conversation, but just how are you feeling? What are you doing these days? You know, versus like more objective one, like can you show me an act of kindness or share with me an act of kindness that you noticed today. Okay. Okay. Consider getting parents buy-in. I think administratively this is difficult, right? But I think with the effects that it could reap, right, I think it might be worth looking at. Because if you can get the parents to buy in, the safety aspect and the discipline aspect might be mitigated or might be helped. I show you one positive example of my private student, okay, not my school one. So in my private group, I got about 20, 30 students, primary school one. And I mass send all of them. Wow, I mean, one thing is the kid very enthused because holiday nothing to do. Then the mother also very happy because okay, I'm a bit paiseh to say this, but in reality, because it was a buy-in because the mother felt like the son was losing his physicality and putting on a little bit of weight. Okay, so the parent got the buy-in, then very happy so ask the son to do. Not only that, the son so happy, right? Do, and then so effective, right? The mother go and call the other mother and ask the other person to go and do also. Yeah, so it's very good if you can get the parents to buy in. And if they really, really buy in, meaning like it's not a chore, it's not a necessity, but they convince I think the risk factor or the injury, all that, right, will be mitigated also, right? And they also have access to your videos, right? They will know areas of how safe it is also. Okay, so this is one consideration. How to do it, I'm not so sure yet, right? Perhaps I really have no idea. Maybe the coaches or the teachers can post a video to share with the parents or something. I really have no idea yet. Peer influence. Okay, so I mentioned that the first week when I did this online badminton holiday challenge for my students, first week I got almost zero response. I quickly go and call the captain, and then I tell the captain to like, hey, hello, can you do or not? Can you do already? Then post inside your group chat or not? Then you just ask me, hey, coach, you got receive my video? Like that. So like faith will build faith, right? And courage will build courage, right? So like that, then the other students see, then they know that alamak, actually got people do it. Yeah. Then the other thing is that I use external motivation. It's not the best long-term solution, but it's one of the solution, okay? I give prizes. Every week got one winner. At the end of the holiday, right, I gave an overall holiday challenge winner, right? And the prize is a badminton racket with strings. Wow, I think they're very gained and they're very excited. But ask your coaches, they probably will be able to get all these at cost price and it's not too expensive lah. But during this period, I do want to ask the teachers to help out because the coaches don't have regular pay. I think now they are very badly affected. Okay. I added one thing about peer influence is do the exercise on Zoom, right? So on top of calling my captain to do and posting it on the group chat, I asked you to, hey, can you pick 3 friends, and then you go and Zoom with them and do the exercise with these 3 friends. And then I called another few influential students to do this. In the end, I really got groups of Zoom videos coming in of themselves doing the exercises, which is quite cool. I didn't mention this part just now, but I think it's important to know. I talk about the confidentiality issues that school face, right? So at first, they didn't want me to Zoom so that there's no interaction. They didn't want me to receive the videos also for security and confidentiality issue. They also don't want it to be posted up in any group chat so that people don't use it for cyberbullying or for other reasons, right? In the end, we settled for a Google Doc shared between the teacher and myself. Okay, and to mitigate even further, right, I asked the students to do a back view recording of them exercising so that cannot tell who is it. And I asked them to do a time lapse. Time lapse means, right, a 20 minutes exercise will be compressed to a 30-second or 1 minute video. So then you will mitigate all the risk factors. I mean, not mitigate completely, but substantially enough. And so this is how I worked out I know there are some questions on how to check their progress, how to make sure that they are doing. I think a time-lapse back view will be a viable option. That's one school. The other school that I did, right, the teacher say, never mind, just post on SLS. Then the teacher will be the one checking. Okay, so different schools got different approach. Okay, the last one I put in gray, right, because it's not really a good way to engage the students directly. Meaning, when you solicit participation, right, it's not as if the students feel like, oh my God, now I get to participate. Yeah, I will do it. No, right? They get to do it or they have to do it. It's a chore and a homework. It doesn't help with engaging them directly. But I want to tell you that doing this will help you to engage them better indirectly. When I see more videos coming in for certain kind of exercises, then I know what is engaging them. I found this out accidentally because when I posted all my exercise videos, right, I have a certain number of responses. But when I do the the trick shot videos, I got students coming to tell me that, hey coach, I can do this number, hey coach, I can do this number of trick shots. So they were like flexing and bragging to me. Then I realized that it's my own feedback that actually they are more engaged by all those short videos. And this will help me indirectly engage them better because it's a channel of feedback. Okay, so whether it's submitting videos or doing quizzes, it's a form of feedback. Actually, doing quizzes is not a form of feedback. I put that there because I think doing quizzes might be one way of making sure your students do it when it's the badminton knowledge, the technical knowledge kind. For example, I say, what are the 3 rules of singles service? Then, do a multiple choice, then you know whether they got watched the video or not. Okay, we're coming to the end already. Okay, in fact, this is the last slide before I just offer you some form of follow-up. Take a picture of this, right? Because I think this is what you need in front of you when you talk to your HOD or when you talk to your coaches to see whether this is viable or not. First, right, at the back of everything, you need to keep in mind the 4 considerations. Right? In all these 4 other columns, you need to think whether they have the mindset, skill set, suitability, and resources available. Okay? Secondly, right, the next step you need to do is you need to fill in the 3 aspects of CCA. So this is the one I talk about, the technical, fitness, and the social emotional. When you fill out in broad, then you know some form of what kind of videos you want to churn out. Okay? The next one is then you need to align with your HOD and with your coaches what you want the outcome. This one you need to be reasonable. You cannot reach everyone. You cannot be as effective. We are going for we cannot hit 100%, right? We at least hit 10, 20% during this period so that there is some form of improvement. I think what's more scary is that we don't even know when will this period end. It could be 2 months, it could be until December, it could be until next year. You see articles in online from reliable sources that in other countries, there are second outbreaks. There are new clusters forming in even countries that seems to have it under control. So until the vaccination is really done, right, we really don't know how long this will hold. Okay, so come up with reasonable outcomes and maybe some form of expectation of what the quality of videos should be like. Then you discuss, the next step will be discuss in details with your coaches, the frequency and the duration of the videos, right? You can use the 1 month plan and the 6 months plan to put all this in place, okay? And the last one is about the charges. What I put here is just what I think, okay? I have not done it with my teachers yet because they also have not had their internal discussion with their HODs. But I'm just picking up models from different industry. I'm also a life coach. I'm also a speaker. So when I do training for corporate, right, I do a one-time fee for the planning, meaning right, it will include a 1 minute conversation on what are their needs, and then give me 1 day or 2 days to the curriculum, and then I come back to them, right, to finalize the details. Okay, so this process of 2 calls and a few days, right, will cost X amount. 100, 200, 300, 400, 1,000. I don't know what. But the planning is one amount, and then the delivery, right, is another amount, right? Because in a corporate world, sometimes you want to train different batches of clients, right? So even though I come up with a program, I replicate it in 3 different classes. Then I charge the classes because my time is being spent there, and sometimes in a corporate training background, in a corporate training setting, there are also logistics involved. Similar for this, right? You probably need to pay per video. I strongly advise against the duration or length of the video, but you really need to consider your expectation of how the video will turn out, right? And then discuss from there. I don't have a fixed model, but my suggestion or my sense, okay, don't quote me, okay, but just sense, because my videos take between 1 to 4 hours, maybe each video around 2-3 hours. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure whether the last option is possible. Pay per month with fixed number of videos, right? Because I think your coaches, if let's say they are sending the videos for someone to do post-production or editing, they might need to pay the person also. And during this period where they're not receiving an income, I think it's very hard for them to pay for these services. If they cannot pay, they don't get paid by you, then it becomes a spiral that no one can get out of. So I thought that maybe paying by per month might be a viable option, but yeah, I don't know yet, right? We shall see how it goes. Okay, so okay. So in terms of the content that I want to share, this is all. Now, a few resources that I want you to consider is the physiotherapist, right? I share why I picked him. Number one, right, he worked with the Singapore Badminton Association. He followed the Lokenyu or that go competition, and he's the one that manages their fitness, not fitness, their injuries and stuff like that. Okay, look over here, right? They have good knowledge of muscles, joints, and ligaments. I think because of this, right, they are very, very well versed in anatomy, movement, injury prevention. So they came up with a safe program for me to be done at home. So I think they are very credible. I borrowed their credibility to present this to my teachers. In fact, I actually engaged them since December because I wanted to run this on a normal non-COVID situation for injury prevention sake. So you might want to consider this, and let me show you some numbers. Right, when you do the planning process with them, it's around $420 for this number of sessions, right? So if you want less session, then it can be lower. And if you need a follow-up, right, to demonstrate the exercises, which actually some of these exercises you can find online, you might not need these services. Then you are just paying this amount, $420. $420 for 40 sessions is almost $10 a session. Isn't it worth it? Okay. Now, on a normal circumstance, which means if like market forces are left to act on their own, I believe this cost should be borne by the badminton coaches or the sports coaches. But this is an unprecedented time, and they are not drawing any salary. I think it will be very hard for them to fork out this amount of money. So if you need this program and if you think this is valuable, right, do consider a special arrangement. I don't know what, okay, advance payment or something, I'm not so sure, but I just want to put it out there that the coaches are really having a hard time with zero income. But yet for them to receive some income, they need to pay more money. I think it's very hard. But at the same time, the expertise that all these different industries can bring can be very valuable. So do consider it. Wisdom Academy is the content creation course that I attended, right? So 2 days is this amount. 2 days of recording is 970. After the 90% WSQ funding, they only need to pay 132. And with this amount, right, they can use SkillsFuture, which means actually they can attend this 4-day course for $0, right? If they are eligible for the WSQ funding but no more SkillsFuture, they need to pay 132 and 93. Okay. At the end of this course, they will also be able to show you a set of videos already, because the recording and the editing during the course will be practical on the job training. The course trainer will tell the instructors or the sports coaches, right, to actually record themselves giving instructions, and they teach them how to edit. So it's very good. At the end of 4 days, there are some sample to show the teachers. Again, I ask for your understanding because I really don't know how the coaches will be able to pay for this, and I cannot expect them to not pay my friend and then go for the course also. So there must be some form of mitigation, which I think we need to explore. I don't have an answer yet. Okay, next one is purely for teachers. I know that there is a befriender program out there to support students who might fall through during the home-based learning. Okay, if you need more resources, this is the resource that you can have. It is also in the mailer that I sent out. If you never received the mailer, right, can you check your spam box or your promotion box? Because some of my friends said that it went there. If you really, really don't have the mailer, email me and I will. Wow, when I say email me, my heart sank. Because I just converted 400 emails into Excel sheet from all the registration through email. But I don't have any other way to reach out to people, okay, at this point. I don't have a good system. Everything is just moving very fast. Okay, but so for the sake of the community, if you really, really need me to connect with you, drop me an email and I'll just do the hard work during this period. Okay, let's review today's session. Today's session, I want to help teachers have a sense of what it takes. Okay, I believe all of you now have a sense of whether it's viable or not. My own personal stance is it is definitely viable, because if you don't have the skill set or you don't have the, okay, I think mindset a bit hard. But if you don't have the skill set, the video editing, the training program, all that, right? Pay someone to do it, like the physiotherapist, like the content creator, or I'm also offering my services to craft out the 6 months program with you. If you pay these services like even $30 or $40 per session, and if you earn $100 per session, the coaches will still earn a substantial amount during this period. It's at least better than no revenue. So my stance is that actually CCA Online is viable for everyone. It's just whether they are willing to pay the money first, or whether they have the ability to pay first and see the money coming up. But I think teachers also need to be understanding and help them to mitigate this risk factor. I've heard some coaches say that, wow, if we pay all this and we learn all this, then what if school resume next month? Then how? I don't have an answer for that, honestly. My own sense is that it won't be resuming anytime soon. But I really, really cannot guarantee that. So if there's a way for teachers to help with that, I think it would be great. Okay. Second objective that I wanted to hit was to plan an effective CCA program. So I gave you all these things. Okay, and I think you need to spend some time to map out your own CCA on this. And I think you're good to go. Following up from here, a few things. I have 2-3 slides for this, so bear with me. Some will be useful for you. First, follow me on my Facebook page so that you can receive updates. If I'm going to provide any more tools, content, this is where you're going to receive communication from me. Okay, next, right? Follow me on my YouTube, right? If you want to see samples of my exercise programs. Okay, and if you want all these services, I'm going to provide a follow-up link for you to drop your request for me. In fact, I have already sent it through email. Please check your spam box And please check your promotion box. If you don't have it, then you got to email me. I've already sent out at 7 a.m. this morning already, including the links for the Facebook and the YouTube. Okay, other follow-up is this. I am considering, haven't confirmed, I'm considering to set up a brainstorming session for specific groups of teachers. For example, one group might be HOD and subject heads. Second group will be all the sports CCA and all the non-sports CCA to see how they can come together to maybe craft out a program that can be applicable for everyone. Right? I will see the response and see whether this is viable or not. If you think this is good for you and you want to be part of it, indicate in your follow-up list with me. Yeah. So I mentioned that while I share all these principles where you can map out your CCA, and I think that CCA Online is for everyone, I believe really you need the skill set of the flexibility and innovation to be able to map it out. And that is where I think I can come and provide this service. I don't know how many schools will want this, but I've been having 400 signups for this talk. If only a small percentage of the schools want me to help them map out, I will not have enough time already. So I will have to charge a small fee for this. And during this period, we just try to help each other. Okay. Last one is arrange a private session to craft out your school's CCA curriculum. Okay, so follow up. Yep, you just let me know in the link. Hey, alamak, I don't think this is the correct link, but use the link either in the group chat, in the Zoom group chat, or use the link that I've sent out in the email. Okay, if you haven't received an email, please let me know so that I can drop you. Okay, I'm going to end with this. Okay, so I'm doing this for free for a few reasons. Okay, first, right, I really want to reach out to the students. I think they're very poor thing because home-based learning, not going out, no interaction, no social life, I think it's quite detrimental to them, right? And I hope that the coaches do something about it. But the second group that I'm trying to help is all the coaches. They really very poor thing. They got a stable, they got some form of income to, I think some of them close to zero income during this period. And then all these services that I talk about, right, are also small businesses that also need a form of income to sustain their business. And it's very complicated or very difficult or very tricky during this period where the school coaches who don't have money need to pay for all these small business who also don't have money, and very hard to give discounts to them also, right? So I don't know a way out, but I know that compassion goes a long way during this time, right? If there is if your school can help the coaches mitigate some of this costs and to mitigate the risk that I mentioned, please help coaches. Okay. The risk I mentioned is that some of the coaches do consider like, if I do all this and then in the next 2 months CCA resume how, then I do all this for nothing and I pay all this for nothing. Okay. I think that's about all I want to share. One last thing that I want to share what I've shared with the coaches also. And with this I will end and I will just take questions. So in my coaches sharing, I also have more than 100 over signups. So actually there are many coaches who are considering do CCA online. Okay, to have a conversation with them. One of the follow-up that I'm offering them is that I want to group together similar CCA coaches. So for example, right, all the racket sports coaches come together. Tennis, table tennis, badminton, maybe even floorball. Why, right? Because they can brainstorm together and craft out programs that's similar. For example, how I talk about scaling down from shuttlecock to ping pong? Maybe they can take the same idea, right? I give one example, right? But if got 10 brains come together, maybe you'll be more powerful, right? So one will be the racket sports, one will be the performing arts, right? One will be the individual sports like swimming, athletics, canoeing, and stuff like that. So they have expressed interest. If your coaches have not heard about it, I'm going to post up all these details maybe at the end of today or tomorrow, including the follow-up links and all that. So get them to like my Facebook page or follow somehow so that they'll be notified. Yeah, okay. So this is all the resources that I'm sharing. And with that, I end my session formally. But informally, I will still take questions lah. but help me ask the question in not private, okay? So that the other, so that my wife can help me manage also. Okay, so I got one question of what is my email address. Let me put it here. sguprace@gmail.com. Wow, you don't know my email address? How did you know about this talk? That's interesting, because all my flyers or brochures out there got my email address. For team sports and coordination, how can, oh, right, Wei Heng, sorry, I remember I wanted to answer this. Okay, now before I answer, right, the foundation is this, you must understand that nothing can beat live session, okay? I know for a team sport, like let's say floorball or soccer, right, there is this element of like, wow, I close my eyes, I also know where is my teammate because we've practiced this so many times. That one is very hard to replicate online. But you break down the skill set of this, one of the key element, right, is knowing your teammates and able to trust them. Correct? You will know very realistically that in a team, if no matter how good is the player, if I don't like him or I don't trust him, I won't pass the ball to him. Right? Realistic, right? So during online, right, we can develop these other parts. Of course, it's not as effective as practicing the formation or strategy 10,000 times, but it is one component, and it is that 1% that I'm talking about that is better than 0%. A little bit of improvement also better than none. So we can explore how to build trust and how to build knowing your other teammates. It may not even be about sports, but it could be just interacting with them. I can think of two. Let's say we watch a match and then give comments. Then you will hear like, so easy, I also can. Alamak, that guy so slow, da 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 da. You will hear a lot of assessments and opinions going across. Actually, knowing what your friend like or don't like will actually help you to know what kind of personality and know your teammates better. And that's part of that building relationship and trust. The other thing that I think about is doing tasks or playing games online. Yeah, it may or may not exactly be related to your sport, but let me, can you join a hex ball? Can I ask my wife to drop a link on hex ball? So hex ball is a very funny online game, okay? It's nowhere near FIFA, it's super one-dimensional. But I've been playing for weeks with my friends, and it's very funny, and you get to see the different character, and you will hear things like, in a real team hey, you idiot, stupid you, hey, pass the ball, hey, come on, cover the back, right? Okay, so given, right, you will not be the same as live training, right? You will not be able to practice the formation and all that. But playing this, right, will help with the interaction and the building of the trust. Okay, I hope I answered your question, Wing Hing. John, I see your message about Nika. I have spoken to Nika and I have heard that they will email me. I think that they are planning something up. I can't be sure. But I wanted to reach out to all the teachers and coaches, right? Before something become concrete. I scared if wait for Nika or what, then later they already void the contract or change the contract, then too late already. So I quickly talk to you guys first. Yeah, but well, if you can link me up with someone, sure, I'm willing to help. Sports Coaches Association Singapore. Yeah, I didn't know about this. Yeah, but again, I'm willing to offer help. You let me know if I don't know. You let me know link me up with someone. Okay. So I will take more questions and I will wait till maybe I will end the session at 3:45 lah. You're welcome, David. David is my friend Yeah, but thanks for coming. Thanks, Daryl. Thanks for your affirmation. Thank you, Teresa. Oh, and thank you, Madam Tan. Are you still here? Long time no see. Okay. Wow. Thanks. Thank you, teachers, for being so affirming. Hi, Tan. Thanks for your affirmation. Tan, if you are still here, can you share what is your current area of work? If you want me to not say it, let me know. Then I just keep it private. I'm trying to answer Sharvil's question. Correct me if I'm wrong. So far, the idea is about taking CCA online. Any other alternatives if we are to do a physical lesson? If you are physical lesson, then not a normal lesson, man. Or with social distancing. Okay, yeah, right, with physical distancing. Grouping of students and modification activity. Wow, actually, I think you are talking about very detailed, I mean, very operational level kind, right? We might need to engage more. I need to hear exactly what you're talking about. Because if I give you something very general, it might not be very useful. But the general one is space out lor. Yeah, that's physical distancing. What I can imagine when I do my badminton drills with my students, instead of 10 people in a court, then just become 4 people in the court. Spacing out kind of thing. Have a better understanding. Yeah. Okay. Okay, thanks, Dan. I see your message. Is the guide from MOE to do eCCA online once a week? There will be 2 kids. Teresa, there is no guide there from MOE. From the MOE statement that I saw, which caused me to react and want to help people, right? MOE mentioned 2 directions for sports coaches and sports teachers. So MOE asked sports teachers to reach out to the sports coaches and do either one of these two. One is give some form of advance payment to help them through during this period, but the number of hours that they are being advancedly paid for, right, must be repaid. But let me share with the teachers that actually it's very difficult because some coaches teach 2 schools. So one school is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the other school is Thursday, Friday. So if they take advance payment, it's going to be very hard for them to double up when things resume. They already fully booked in the week, right? Unless they extend the training until 7 p.m., 8 p.m., which also not very feasible. So I don't know how it will work the advance payment thing. Maybe I don't have a very good understanding of it. The second direction is the second direction is try to re-look at the conditions of the contract, right? So that the coaches can continue to provide a service and they can continue to be paid for. So this is the option that I'm going for and I hope that all the teachers help the coaches during this period, right? If you help them enough and you point them to me, I can also help them, right? Together we all help each other, right? We can help each other and get something out of it. Yeah, like I mentioned, with all the resources that I have, right, it's just a matter of whether they are willing to pay and whether they have the means to make advance payment. They can plan out a curriculum, they can run it during this period. So MOE didn't say how many hours, how many what, how much money. It never say until when, but just ask us to relook at the contract, and this is the 2 direction either advance payment or provide a service. Cheryl asked just to share my coach suggested coach become teacher assistant. Yeah, that's an option. I mean, I don't need to say much. That's an option. If they want to take it up, they take it up. But I sharing this because I do think that eCCA doing this part can help with the emotional part of things. If not, the student very bored, very poor thing. Every day, see the computer, study. Then after that, watch YouTube, waste time. So do some exercise at home better .